Know me, but my name is Stephanie and I'm on this season of The Apprentice with Donald Trump. And so how many of you have watched the show? Oh yeah, good. Do you remember me from last week? The shoes? See, these are Rockport shoes. I got free shoes, so at least something came from that. So I am on this season of The Apprentice and I auditioned like everyone else. Everyone asks how you got on. And I live in Chicago and I'm a commercial banker. And 25,000 people auditioned for The Apprentice, and I was watching the last episode with Brett Michaels, and there was a blurb at the end that said, if you ever wanted to be on The Apprentice, now's your time, because we're going to have a regular apprentice. And I called all my friends and I said, oh my God, it's a sign I'm going to be on the show. The TV just told me that I'm going to be on. So I went to New York City and I auditioned, and 25,000 people auditioned, and I ended up getting on the show. And it was great. I spent the summer in New York City and worked for Donald Trump, and he's great. He's obviously very inspiring and very charismatic, and it was a great experience. But prior to getting on The Apprentice, I was living here in Chicago, and I started a charity called Child Cause. And some of you may know Child Cause, and there are some of our executives here in the audience. Child Cause is a nonprofit that provides peer support to teens affected by substance abuse and AIDS. I actually was affected by substance abuse because my father was a drug user and made a lot of bad decisions in his life, and unfortunately got infected with HIV, and both my parents died of AIDS. And obviously, I don't fit the demographic, and there was a lot of stigma associated with drug abuse and AIDS, and I started doing well in my life, and I realized that it was time for me to give back. And it was time, I had a social responsibility to do something, and what I wanted to do was inspire teens through the arts, because that's what really got me through life. I played piano, and I was always very inspired through the arts, and that's what kept me focused and inspired and wanted to make different choices in my life. So I met Sean Barrows, and Sean was on American Idol, which is another great reality show. And when I met him, I told him about Child Cause, and I said, you know, I'm in Chicago, we're doing great things with teens, and I'd love to inspire teens through the arts. And then he told me about his national music concert tour, and I thought, how great would it be if we combined both our causes? And that's what we did. And sometimes, you know, a lot of times in life, actually, things just work out. And this is one of these cases where things worked out. And I actually used to live in Grays Lake, so it's very fitting that our first concert's here in Grays Lake. Watching the kids doing their rehearsals, and I actually got tears in my eyes, because it's so fun when you get to that point in life where things actually start to happen effortlessly. And you know, many years I worked hard, and I kept telling myself that things were just going to work out, and I'm at this point in my life right now where things are finally working out, and it's great. So, thank you. I'm happy to be here, and thank you all for coming. This is the first of our concert tour. We're going to do, we have 4 schools scheduled here in the Chicagoland area. So this event is the first one, so we're going to get some coverage. NBC's covering this event tonight, so it's going to be in the news tomorrow, and we're going to get a lot of local coverage. I'm going to be on Kathy and Eric, obviously talking about The Apprentice, and Donald Trump is behind everything we're doing, so we're going to get a lot of momentum from this first event. So Grays Lake is going to get some good press. Thank you for coming tonight. I want to thank Sean for coming out here. He's obviously from Utah, so that's a long way. And I want to thank Grays Lake High School. You have all been very supportive. I'm very impressed. There's a lot of talent in the school, and that's what this is about. It's about inspiring teens through the arts, and you're all going to get a national platform now to showcase your talent. This is going to be on the major networks and on YouTube, and this is how it all starts. So anyone who has a dream, that's the basis of Child Cause, is to have a dream, dream big, because, you know, the sky's the limit. If I would have ever thought that I'd be on, you know, The Apprentice working for Donald Trump 15 years ago, I would have, you know, obviously convinced myself that it was impossible, but anything's possible. So thanks for coming tonight. Enjoy the show, and I will talk to you soon.
Are you guys ready to jazz and roll? Because you're about to hear the jazzy and stylings of the Sean the Hammerhand Barrows.